Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro led a joint meeting of the Council of State and the Council of Defense. In Uruguay, the Union of Workers of the state-owned fuel company ANCAP Federation began to protest actions against the privatization administrative decision. And in Palestine, media reported that Israel has killed about 1.8% of the population of Gaza since October 7, 2023, during its devastating genocidal operation in the coastal enclave. Hello and welcome to From the South. My name is Belén de los Santos. I'm from the teleSUR studios in Havana, Cuba. We begin with the news. On Monday, Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro led a joint meeting of the Council of State and the Council of Defense. The high political command of the nation was held in the place known as the Yellow House, headquarters of the Foreign Ministry in the city of Caracas. Since July 30th, the Council of State and Defense Council have been in permanent session to address and confront the terrorist actions of the far-right wing groups following the re-election of Nicolás Maduro as president of the country. It should be noted that the meeting was also attended by the Venezuelan Vice President Delcy Rodriguez, the Attorney General Tarek William Saab, and the Military High Command.
I was saying it with some delegates who arrived from Spain before the elections on July 28th. In Venezuela, the future of humanity is being defined, just as it was in 1936.
And during his speech, the president of Venezuela, Nicolás Maduro, said that his government is fighting to guarantee peace in the country.
Today in Venezuela, under very different conditions, the same battle is being fought in peace with a powerful and strong institutional framework. A people's power with the territorial capacity to guarantee peace, work, and the life of the people. A cohesive and patriotic military power ready to fight with the will to fight, with its own doctrine. With its own strategic concept, the backbone of the defense of the homeland.
We continue in Venezuela as the Minister of Popular Power for Transportation, Ramón Velázquez Araguayan, informed on Sunday that the Conviasa website and the metro collection system were attacked by the hacktivist Anonymous. Through his Instagram account, the minister denounced once again the attacks of the hacktivist collective Anonymous against the website of Conviasa Airline, which they managed to neutralize with their technical equipment. He added that likewise the attack against the ticket collection system in the subways of Caracas, Valencia, Los Teques, Maracaibo State Railroad institutions and the Metrobus, which caused a collapse in the service. He also added that they acted to safeguard all the information of users. And we stay in Venezuela. The electoral chamber of the highest judicial body announced in its ruling on the first balance of the contentious electoral appeal that seek to settle the controversy of the July 28th elections that the former ultra-right candidate Edmundo González Urrutia is in contempt of the court. The report with Madeleine Garcia.
La Sala Electoral del Tribunal Supremo de Justicia.
The electoral chamber of the Supreme Court of Justice gave the balance of the first phase of the expertise of the contentious appeal that concluded with the appearance of President Maduro before the electoral chamber, a process that will lead to know all the details of what happened in the July 28th presidential election. 48 people were summoned, 38 from political parties, 9 former candidates, and the Venezuelan president. The big absentee was Edmundo González Urrutia, the ultra-right-winger who caused all the doubts about the electoral process.
It is hereby stated for the record that the former candidate Edmundo González Urrutia did not attend and, therefore, did not comply with the summon order, disregarding with his inaction the mandate of this, the highest instance of the electoral contentious jurisdiction of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela.
Pero allí no queda todo. Partidos políticos.
But that's not all. Political parties that supported Edmundo González Urrutia said that they had access neither to the witnesses nor to the minutes, because behind all that electoral consultancy was the organization called CIMITI, created by Maria Corina Machado.
Todos miembros de la Alianza Plataforma Unitaria Democrática y postulantes del
All members of the Democratic United Platform Alliance and postulants of former candidate Edmundo González Urrutia did not submit any electoral material, arguing that they do not have any type of documentation related to this electoral process. In this sense, they stated that they do not have the minutes of the scrutiny of the witnesses, nor the list of witnesses, alluding, furthermore, that they did not participate in the process of transferring and safeguarding any material. They also pointed out that the organization Súmate is part of the technical advisory team of the Democratic Unitary Platform Alliance, and, in turn, they did not know who uploaded the information of the alleged tally sheets in the web page www.resultadospresidencialesvenezuela2024.com.
La sala electoral iniciará la segunda fase.
The electoral chamber will initiate the second phase of the expert analysis of all the minutes and electoral material consigned. At the end of the process, they will issue a final sentence, which...
Now let's take a short break, but remember you can join us on TikTok at teleSUR English, where you will find news in different formats, news updates, and much more. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Welcome back to From the South. In Uruguay, the Union of Workers of the state-owned fuel company ANCAP Federation began protest actions on Monday against a privatization administrative decision. The union opposes the exit of the public company from the fuel distribution and sales business at Carrasco Airport, which will become private. A statement from ANCAP's board of directors states that a lawsuit filed by the private partners due to differences in the management of the business has been settled. For its part, the union announced as of Monday 3 days of strike in different areas of the company every day. And on Monday, Argentinian universities started a 72-hour national strike to demand better salaries and condemn Javier Milei's government policies. Union and social organizations held a 3-day protest to make visible the current situation of the universities and the claims of the sector. Protesters demand the national government a real recovery of salaries in the context marked by a strong socio-economic crisis. Meanwhile, they denounce the loss of workers' purchasing power, while inflation in the country between December 2023 and June of 2024 amounts to 125.5%. Also in Argentina, on Sunday afternoon, police officers of the Rio Negro province murdered a Mapuche Juan Carlos Villa in El Bolsón in the north of Patagonia. In addition, another member of the Mapuche people, Emmanuel Moll, was also injured. Following a complaint, the home of the dead victim was invaded by the agents. Many native residents framed the incident as part of the hate speech promoted by politicians and businessmen. In a still very confusing version, Villa was killed by the agents and Moll was injured and later transferred to the hospital in the Bolsón area, where he remains hospitalized. And in Brazil, at least 12 lifeless bodies were identified on Monday at the Legal Medical Institute, the IML, in the state of Sao Paulo out of the 62 that were on the plane that crashed on Friday in the Brazilian state. The IML headquarters is working exclusively on the case and on the identification of the victims' remains. The unit received the 62 bodies of the victims of the tragedy, of which 34 were men and 28 were women, including passengers and crew members. One of the bodies was handed over to the relatives for legal procedures. The relatives are the first to be informed about the progress of the examination work. The government of Sao Paulo decreed on Friday a 3-day period of official mourning in honor of the victims. In other news, in the Dominican Republic on Sunday, members of the LGBTQ+ community gathered in the streets of downtown Santo Domingo during the celebration of the Dominican Pride Caravan. With the slogan "Diversity in the Streets, Demanding Equal Rights," the community marched through the city to raise awareness about the community and to request the authorities to implement policies of respect, tolerance, protection, and inclusion, with a special part dedicated to the memory of the members of the community who were murdered. The parades were held in the main sectors of the metropolitan area, including the Colonial City, Ciudad Nueva, San Carlos, Villa Juana, Villa María y 24 de abril. Now we move on to other topics. In the United States, Tropical Storm Debbie left at least 7 dead, flooded areas, and thousands of people without electric power after its passage. According to media reports, among the dead are a 12-year-old boy and a woman who died in a car accident in Dixie County, Florida on August 5th. Meanwhile, in New Albany, Mississippi, a truck driver lost control and rushed into a canal while a tree fell on top of a mobile home, killing a 13-year-old boy. Meanwhile, in Pennsylvania and southern New York, a dozen people were trapped in their homes in the aftermath of the storm. We now have a second short break coming up, but before, we invite you to visit our YouTube channel at teleSUR English, where you will be able to re-watch our interviews, top stories, special broadcastings, and more. Hit the subscribe button and activate the notification bell to stay up to date on the world's most recent events. Final short break, don't go away. Welcome back to From the South. In Palestine, Israel has killed about 1.8% of the population of Gaza since October 7th, during its devastating genocidal operation in the coastal enclave. According to the Palestinian Central Statistics Office, Israel's attacks in Gaza killed more than 39,000 people in the last 10 months. Less than 72 hours ago, the occupiers' troops killed more than 110 people in Al Tabayin school while they were praying. The record indicates that about 70% of the wounded are women and children, that the number of missing people stands at more than 10,000, and that to this day, more than 3,500 children are in danger of death from malnutrition and shortages. On the other hand, the government of the United States maintains support for Israel's genocidal operation against Gaza and announces the sending of the USS Georgia submarine with guided missiles in this way. Washington further contributes to raising tensions in the region. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin ordered the ship's dispatch on Sunday after a telephone conversation with his Israeli counterpart, Yoav Gallant. On Sunday night, the Palestinian resistance movement Hamas confirmed that it will not send negotiators to the talks that will begin in 4 days under the auspices of Qatar, Egypt, and the United States. They asked the mediators to present a plan to implement what has already been agreed upon on July the 2nd, based on a vision of Washington and the United Nations Security Council resolution. The movement insists that the mediators must ensure that all agreements previously signed by the parties are fulfilled and reiterates that there is no point in promoting new rounds of negotiations if Israel systematically disrespects what has already been agreed upon. And we move on to other topics. International Atomic Energy Agency Chief Rafael Grossi stressed that the attacks on the Zaporizhzhia power plant increase the risk of a nuclear accident to extreme levels. Although the IAEA chief refrained from making any accusations, the reminder comes after a Ukrainian drone hit one of the cooling towers of the nuclear power plant on Sunday. Engineers confirmed that the interior has been severely damaged. United Nations experts assured that any military action against the nuclear power plant represents a clear violation of the 5 principles of facility protection that have been adopted by the United Nations Security Council. In other news, China's foreign ministry expressed on Monday concern following Ukraine's incursion into Russia's Kursk region and reiterated its call for war de-escalation. In this regard, Beijing urged all parties involved to follow 3 principles: to prevent the conflict from spreading beyond the battlefield, to prevent the escalation of hostilities, and to refrain from fanning the flames. The Foreign Ministry reaffirmed its readiness to maintain communication with the international community and to play a constructive role in seeking a political solution to the crisis. We go now to sports, as at the Olympic Games Paris 2024, Latin America achieved outstanding performances. Let's see how they played in the medal standings.
Brazil arrived at the Olympics with 277 athletes, being the largest delegation and the most outstanding with 3 gold medals, 7 silver medals and 10 bronze medals. Its greatest performer was gymnast Rebecca Andrade, who became the most decorated athlete in the history of Brazil. While Cuba extended its record as the Latin American country with the most medals in the Olympics, highlighting the performance of Mijaín Lopez and having a total of 10 medals. Ecuador with 40 athletes obtained 6 medals and was the 3rd in this medal list. Argentina was ranked 52nd, winning the 3 gold medals in this edition of the Olympic Games and being the first country in Latin America to win the gold medal thanks to José Maligno Torres. Chile and Dominican Republic won 1 gold medal each, 1 silver for Chile and 2 bronze for Dominican Republic. Guatemala made history by singing its national anthem for the first time in the Olympic Games with Adriana Ruano, in addition to obtaining a bronze medal. Mexico, Colombia, Panama, Puerto Rico, and Peru were positioned in the ranking between the 65th and 84th places.
And after the closing ceremony of Paris 2024 Olympics, Los Angeles residents, host city of the 2028 Games, reacted to this.
Well, we have it coming. We have it coming next time, so we definitely have to step up.
Yeah.
We have issues, with infrastructure, but we'll come up with something good. I think for in 4 years.
We don't have the same desserts
Right.
and
Right,
food, but we do have good food.
Exactly. We have great food here. Are you kidding me? Great food. Come on.
But Paris, I think it was the perfect, especially beach volleyball settings, like Eiffel in the back. Oh my God, that was just ooh la la situation. It was beautiful, and I cannot wait to see what LA has to offer.
Yes, so excited. It's going to be here. We live here, so we're definitely going to go watch the Olympics in 4 years.
And like this, we have come to the end of this news brief. You can find these and many other stories on our website at telesurenglish.net. And also join us on social media. We are on Facebook, X, Instagram, Telegram, and also on TikTok. For Telesur English, my name is Belén de los Santos. Thank you for watching.